Hi everyone. Excuse me. It is January the 2nd, 2015. It's about 12:45 in the morning here. I've been reading in the Word, talking to the Lord. There's some scripture that He had me focused on. I've been in 1 Kings chapter 8, verses 57 through 61 is where the Lord has had me focused, but I've read through the whole chapter and through chapter 9. And the Lord kept bringing me back to this, so I asked Him, I said, Lord, what is it that you're trying to show me? And what I got from the Lord was condition of the heart. So I'm going to read this scripture to you. And hopefully we can all get a better understanding of what the Lord's trying to say here. I'm going to start 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 57. This is during the time Solomon had given prayer that the temple has been built. And this comes under a heading called Solomon's blessing after the prayer. And it says, I'm going to start with verse 54. And it was so that when Solomon had made an end of praying all this prayer and supplication unto the Lord, he arose from before the altar of the Lord, from kneeling on his knees with his hands spread up to heaven. And he stood and blessed all the congregation of Israel with a loud voice, saying, Blessed be the Lord that hath given rest unto his people Israel, according to all that he promised. There hath not failed one word of all his good promise, which he promised by the hand of Moses his servant. The Lord our God be with us, as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us, that he may incline our hearts unto him, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, which he commanded our fathers. And let these my words, wherewith I have made supplication before the Lord, be nigh unto the Lord our God day and night, that he maintain the cause of his servant and the cause of his people Israel at all times, as the matter shall require, that all the people of the earth may know that the Lord is God, and that there is none else. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments as at this day. And I think if we look back at verse 58, here where it says that he may incline our hearts unto him. Incline means to bend toward or draw toward. So he wants our hearts bent toward him, to walk in his ways. He wants our hearts focused on him. And then when we get down here to verse 61, and the scripture says, Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments as at this day. This isn't talking about sinless perfection. There's a reference Let me see if I can show this to you. Well, it doesn't really give a reference. It just gives you a better understanding. As you can see, we've got a reference of the letter C here. And when you come up here to the letter C, it says the word, perfect is the word it's talking about. The word implies wholeheartedness for God, single-mindedness, sincerity, not sinless perfection. So it's the state of the heart that the Lord is wanting to draw our attention to. And over here, if we look back in the verses, let's see. Let's look at verse 39. It says, Then hear thou in heaven, thou dwelling place, and forgive, and do, and give to every man according to his ways, whose heart thou knowest. For thou, even thou only, knowest the heart of all the children of men. I know there are many of us that already know this, but God is trying to get the attention of some of those who are yet to come. It's about your heart. It's not about what you did or didn't do. It's about your heart and your relationship with the Lord. The intentions of the heart. God knows we will make mistakes. The scripture even says so. And that's in this chapter somewhere. I didn't mark it, but it's there. But the Lord, He's calling out to us before it's too late and warning one more time about the condition of the heart and how important it is to have your heart right with Him. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, to walk in His statutes and to keep His commandments, as at this day. The Lord's not talking about people who strive to walk with Him and have a relationship with Him. He's not talking about them making a mistake. This is talking about those people who live in a way that's unpleasing to God. And the intent of their heart doesn't know God, doesn't even care what God thinks. The intent of their heart is all about their self. The Lord wants us to understand that we have to give Him our whole heart. He knows, the scripture says, He knows the hearts of all the children of men. That's everyone. If you've not given your heart to the Lord, please seek Him. Tell Him to search your heart and show you what you need to see to be right with Him. For I fear there are many that think, as men have taught them, that they're okay with the Lord, but there are things in their heart that God's not okay with. He's calling us to search our hearts, people. Search our hearts. Are we willing to walk in His statutes? Walking in His statutes. Not living in a way that disregards Him. It's all about the condition of our heart. I've asked the Lord to search my heart and to reveal to me anything that I need to make right with Him. My prayer is that if there's anyone out there that doesn't know the Lord, you'll realize that God knows the hearts of all men. And you'll realize that the only way to heaven is through Christ. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, and it can't be without Christ. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by Him. Please seek salvation through Christ, through the blood of Christ, before it's too late. I hope this touches someone's heart and makes a difference. I love you all. Good night.